Gather around the table once again for another session of Dungeons and Drakfus, and today we're taking on the next elemental plane that we dealt with in Cataclysm. We took on the Throat of Tides and the Plane of Water, then we moved on to the Stone Core in the Realm of Earth. Now it's time for us to take on the Vortex Pinnacle in the Realm of Air. So we are off in Old Doom right now, just to show where I'm at in the map, in case you don't have it on yours. And let's just go ahead and go over the lore of it as we step in. So this is actually one of the coolest assets that was made for Cataclysm as far as I'm concerned. Because I was wondering, like, how are you going to make a Realm of Air look? And in this case, it really does look awesome. So look at all of that. That's amazing. And let me see if I can actually show you guys. I've shown you in Old Doom, but if you look off at the edge, yeah, it looks like the buildings literally become the clouds, literally become the air as they go down. That is an awesome asset. I don't know why this place got so much hate, but, well, Cataclysm just got tons of hate, and I just don't understand. Let's go ahead and talk to Atesh first, really quick. You actually came here looking for me? Yes. So, vengeance for Orsis. The great city of Orsis was attacked by the armies of air. We were taken prisoner. We were the lucky ones. Most died, trapped beneath the choking desert sands. Assad, Al-Akir's caliph, ordered the attack, and he must pay with his life. So there you go. Then we also have an additional quest, which is a long way from home. I have a feeling I was able to escape my captors because, frankly, there is nowhere to go. Stranded on these platforms, they are bound to find me sooner or later. Unless... It is said that the heart of an elemental noble can grant whoever holds it the characteristics of that element, which in the case of the air, would be most useful during a downward trip. Bring me Grand Vizier Eratan's heart, so that I can use its magic to land safely on the shoreline of Old Doom. Okay? There we go. Or you could just come with me. You know, I've got a flying mount. So let's go ahead and go over the lore really quick. So this is the lore of the Vortex Pinnacle. The Vortex Pinnacle exists within the elemental plane of Skywall. Its elegant structures, crowned with bronze and gold, sit atop platforms bridged by pure air. Yet behind its exterior beauty, the pinnacle harbors Nefeset Tulvir, as well as Al-Akir the Windlord's merciless elemental legions. As long as the barrier between Skywall and Azeroth remains open, terror will rain down on Old Doom from the skies. Now, thankfully, this has actually only got 3 bosses, so we'll be able to plow through it pretty quick. And if you're on Heroic, you actually do get a chance at a mount, just like with Stone Core, you do get a chance at a mount here as well. Screw you guys. There we go. Now let's go ahead and turn off the auto loop, because, you know, it's that one thing that I forget to do every week. Now, the cool part about the Vortex Pinnacle is that it does take... I mean, it takes a while to be able to get anywhere, but it's kind of worth it to wait that while. Because as you can see, like, we're going through this area and it's just pretty. The whole area is beautiful and filled with what I'm guessing is like Arabic-inspired architecture. Or Arabian, Arabic, one of the two. Here are some unleashed air elementals. As you can see, we're basically walking into kind of like the 2 elements in Azeroth that are always against everyone are air and fire. So at this point, this is kind of like walking into the Molten Core again. We are not safe. And occasionally you'll come across these lurking tempests that have amazing amounts of health, and you're not supposed to take them down, so don't worry about that too much. Alright, so last little bit of pulls before we can make our way to the first boss. There we go. Oh, I don't care, Mr. Lurking Tempest. So here is the first boss, Grand Vizier Eratan, who we just barely heard about. Here is his lore before we kill him off. Eratan defends the Vortex Pinnacle under the command of her master Assad, against any ground dwellers who dare intrude on the realm. To fulfill her duties, the elemental noble has been granted mastery over the primal forces of lightning and wind. So, in other words, kill her. Got it.
Your presence in Skywall will not be tolerated.
Yes, I'm sure it won't. All right, now we've run out of places to go, but that's really cool because now we get to use the slipstream. Whee! Unfortunately, it didn't work like this. Cataclysm had a little bit more mainstream. It's since been broken. I don't know why. Oh, and we also have Turbulent Squall. So now we make our way to the second boss. Like I said, there's only 3, so we don't have to worry too much. But if this is any indicator of who we're dealing with, yes, it is going to be a dragon-based boss. Obviously, otherwise there wouldn't be a mount that dropped off him, now would there? Okay, this one we're going to have to be a little careful with. These can actually knock you off, and then you have a whole other problem. So I'm going to see if Crackling Jade Lightning will do anything against them. Oh, I guess they don't really affect us anymore now that we're really overpowered. Okay, that works too. I've learned something today. Ah, and here we got some more Storm Drakes. You can't call yourself Storm Dragons. They're not Storm Drakes. Storm Drakes are on Stormheim. Those are really cool dragon designs. Seriously, man, I want that dragon design. I haven't really wanted any of the Drakes as mounts except that design. That's really good looking. Okay, so here comes the second boss that we will be dealing with, which is Alteris, I think is how you're supposed to say it. So yeah, Alteris, so let's go ahead and go into his lore. The immense stormworm Alteris maintains an unyielding vigil over the hovering platforms of the Vortex Pinnacle. The very energies of the storms pulse through his being, and he is said to command the wind currents that buffet the elemental fortress. That's kind of actually in tune with how his battle works. Is he is going to spawn a bunch of air currents, and you have to use them to your advantage. And sadly, no mount. Oh, I have not had luck with either the Stone Core or the Vortex Pinnacle mounts. It's been really sad. Boom. All right, so we're going to take the slipstream to the last segment, which is called Thunder's Rise. This is actually where Assad is. And now we're actually going to be dealing with the Obsidian Destroyers or the Renegade Tolvir. Or what did he call it? I think it was the Torvir is how they say it. Now this is actually a really cool aspect, is that since it takes so long to get up these things, you can actually get a buff. Come on. You're not going to give me the buff? Am I too high? Oh. There we go. So now I have a Zephyr, which is increasing my movement speed to help me get up this really, really tall tower. So yay! And you guys can just take a look at all of the awesome artwork that went into this area. It's one of my favorite dungeons of all time, just on look. Oh, and we have even more Obsidian Destroyers out here. Somebody's gonna let me know what those are. I can't even remember. Oh, and we even have these Skyfall Stars. Basically, a way for the AoE classes to shine. Kill off all the Skyfall Stars, and then this opens up. And the next area that we have is right down here. And you can actually see the final boss, Assad, right over there. Okay, let's get these guys out of here. Screw you. There we are. Come on, guide me down. There we go. So all you gotta do is just go down this this ramp, and then we will be to the final boss of Vortex, Assad. But before that, we have to take out more Skyfall Stars. This is actually really fun for an AoE class. Just you got the chance to kill these things. Not really too much else that other people could do. There we go. So here's the final boss of the Vortex Pinnacle, which is Assad, Caliph of Zephyrs. The fearsome elemental Assad was named Guardian of the Vortex Pinnacle by Alakir himself, with Siamat, Lord of the Southwind, imprisoned by the Neferset. That's what they were called, the Neferset Tolvia. Assad believes he may ascend to the Conclave of Wind if he performs his duties well. And, well, he didn't, because he died. How did he die? We killed him. Fun fact,
Mortals have no place amongst the clouds!
Fun fact, if you've seen this genie model, the later homage that came out for Robin Williams after he passed away is actually based on this design. So, and they basically did a homage to the genie from Aladdin using this design in-game. So there you go. That is the end of Assad and also the end of the Vortex Pinnacle. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. And when we get back next week, I can't even remember where we're going. Give me a second. Let's find out where we're going. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. When we come back next week, we will actually be getting into the second of 3 instances within Old Doom, as we'll be taking care of the Neferset problem in the lost city of the Tolvir. We'll see you guys then.